Am I the asshole? For telling my neighbor I'm not her babysitter over the summer. I have a neighbor, we'll call her Sarah. I'm married with two girls 8-11, she has two boys 8-12. Sarah is married but her husband travels a lot for work and she works from home. I am a teacher so I have school breaks and summers off. Over winter break Sarah's kids kept coming over to see if my kids could play. Play means they have been sent over because they're annoying mom and she's trying to work. Backstory: the kids were friends when they were younger, but as they got older they don't really have much in common and they've drifted apart. Her kids go to a parochial school and my kids go to public school, so they don't even have teachers or classmates in common. They don't have a ton in common anymore, and when they do play, Sarah's kids fight a lot with each other with my kids. One day over winter break the younger one came to the door to see if my kids could play, and I told him they didn't want to play right now. Sarah sent me a text saying that she was on a work call and she could really use some time with the boys out of the house. I caved and told my girls to just try and find something they could do together. 10 minutes later, my oldest came upstairs crying, saying that one of the boys made a nasty comment about how boring our house was and it was dumb that I wouldn't let him play Xbox. The Xbox is my husband's and it's in our family room where I was doing laundry and watching a show. I told the boys if they were bored they were more than welcome to leave. Now it's almost spring break and Sarah just asked if I could watch the boys 2 days because she has 2 busy work days and I'm off work. I told her no because we would be on vacation in Florida visiting family. She said okay and jokingly said, "I guess I'll just hit you up in the summer." I replied and said that I will not be babysitting her kids over the summer. True emergencies, sure, I said, "I'm sorry, but just because I'm not at school during the summer does not mean that I am your free childcare. Yes, I don't physically go to work over the summer, but I take online classes for my master's and I teach online summer school. Meaning, I am also working from home." She blew up on me and told me I should help her because she's alone a lot and now that the kids are older it's harder to keep them entertained all day. I told her that I didn't care if the kids played together outside during the summer, but I was not going to be a caretaker or responsible for her kids unless she was going to compensate me. I tried explaining to her that the kids do not get along the way that they used to, my kids don't fight with each other the way her kids fight with each other, and my kids don't really want them to be at our house all the time. Now she's pissed and not speaking, and her oldest told my oldest that I'm not a good person because I won't help my neighbor. Am I really the AH because I won't watch her kids over the summer? Not the asshole. True emergencies, sure, I said, "I'm sorry, but just because I'm not at school during the summer does not mean that I am your free childcare. Fair enough. Plus her kids don't really get along with yours anymore. You're studying working over summer break." You didn't owe any explanation, but you gave her a reasonable one anyway. Now she's pissed and not speaking, and her oldest told my oldest that I'm not a good person because I won't help my neighbor. Bad-mouthing you to her kids. Not cool. She can pay a sitter go kick rocks. Edited missing words. Not the asshole. She wants a free babysitter for her undisciplined kids. A 12-year-old should be able to keep the 8-year-old out of trouble, but it sounds like no one has taught these boys basic manners or how to behave. Just because you live next to her doesn't mean she gets to take advantage of you. Now she's pissed and not speaking. And problem solved. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Suppose you didn't have kids yourself who also need to looked after and entertained over the summer? Would she still be asking for free childcare? Would she ask anyone else? Probably not. You are convenient. Stop being convenient. You set a boundary that your neighbor didn't like. An appropriate boundary. You living in the house next to hers doesn't make you responsible for her kids. 100. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Find a list of local summer camps and give it to her. Not the asshole. And if she gives you shit, tell her like you, I am working from home over the summer. I am teaching online summer school and taking online classes for my master's and my continuing education requirements. I don't know why you think I am less busy than you, but it's insulting. I manage to keep my children occupied while I'm working from home. Do you need some tips on how to do the same? Not the asshole now. Just tell your daughter to tell him he has a bad mom who can't even watch them when she's home. See how she likes that? Or that is such a bad kid that good neighbors won't watch them for free in the summer. Also, what does her opinion mean for you? It should mean nothing. This is a one-way relationship where she takes and takes. What do you get in return? The Good Neighbor Award? Not the asshole. You tried being polite and she kept pushing, then she badmouthed you to her kids who are already mean to your kids. That would be the end of ANY help from me. She's not speaking to you, great problem solved. Not the asshole. The kids being older should provide relief. The fact that she cannot control an 8 and 12-year-old and plan activities for them to do while she's working speaks volumes. Summer camps start opening up now, so there is plenty of time for her to make other arrangements. I wonder if all that traveling her husband does is all work-related. Not the asshole. The fact that she's alone a lot is something that Sarah needs to take up with her husband. While it would be very generous of you to help her out, ultimately, her kids are her responsibility. You have done nothing wrong here. Not the asshole, and that's a pretty big brass set. She's got to expect not just childcare, but free childcare. Not the asshole. Wow, the guilt-tripping and entitlement of this woman is audacious. Even if you don't have classes to take or things planned out to do, no one is obligated to take another person's kids and watch them. Holy crap, that woman is the especially BC. She's telling her kids you're not a good person. What the actual hell? Not the asshole. Your neighbor is very rude and entitled. Good for you for standing up for yourself. By doing so, you have largely solved a looming problem. Your neighbor and her husband need to deal with their own family. Not the asshole. A 12-year-old is old enough to keep an 8-year-old company at their own home and not make a big mess when mum is working. And if the boys get to play Xbox or whatever too, then the mum should absolutely be all right to work from home with the boys in the house. And if not, then she could let them play at their friend's house. I mean real friends. If they don't have friends, then the parents can hire a babysitter. Parents. She is not a single mum, yet she behaves like she is. So many options. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. If she can afford to send them to private school, she can afford to pay for a nanny or send them to summer camps. If they drop by in the summer, send them home because you have plans to go out. Not the asshole. Good for you for putting a pin in that balloon right away. You've been used enough. How you use your time is none of her business. Not the asshole. Good for you being upfront and establishing boundaries. Kids don't really want them around, and neither do you. Stick to your boundaries. I had similar issues and ultimately had to be blunt with my neighbor as she kept sending her kids over after being told no. At one point I resorted to telling her kids we were on our way out. And I took my kids out. She was ruthless, but she ultimately got the point. No is a complete sentence. Not the asshole. Her 12-year-old is old enough to entertain themselves and brother if she's busy on a work call. They are not toddlers, and she can use her words and tell her children the rules and expectations. Not the asshole. She became unreasonable when she overrode your no during winter break. You're not her free childcare, and your kids are not her kids' emotional support animals. Not the asshole. Honestly, you could have zero job whatsoever and it would be totally acceptable that you don't want to watch her kids. You don't owe her anything.